All right, let's do some combat. So we have our initiative movement segment here. So we're declaring attacks one at a time. So we're going to start over here in the land area. We are going to attack here, these guys. There's only one defending stack, so that's a no-brainer. That headquarters is going to go ahead and support it. So he'll add that 5, that superscript 5 value there to the attack. I'm going to use this. I use tile markers to mark the missions rather than rotating them. It's easier for me. I have big ones and little ones for 1 or 2. Your mileage may vary. So anyway, that becomes 6, 11 to 1 in all land area combat is in Rough Woods. So we find the Rough Woods row, cross-reference that with 11 to 1, and find out that we are off the chart. So the initial odds are going to be set to 7 to 1, and we're going to get a -1 for being off the chart as an attacker. Neither side is going to bother with air support. The allies only have 2 planes and no helos in range. And the non-allied does have some planes, but at the max column, they don't really need to worry too much about this role in particular. So there's not going to be any air, no naval support, none of that kind of stuff. So we can go straight to the Darwell modifiers. And again, none of those are going to really matter. Nope. So it's pretty much a straight up roll, except for the -1 for the odds. So we're on the 13 column. Look at the gray die, which you probably can't see, but it's a 2. So a 2 is a 1 for the attacker / 3R for the defender. The defender, so it's a red column though, so the defender cannot take 3 losses, so the attacker reduces his loss by 1 and essentially takes no loss at all. These guys are dead. That is a single VP for a battalion. So move that up. There are no longer any allied units in that land area. So these guys immediately go under a clearing marker. So we're going to rinse and repeat down here. The same exact attack. And this time it's a 1, so pretty sure these guys are going to be toast. Put them over here. Whoops, move the VP marker up. And I will grab another clearing marker. All right, so here in Riga we have a choice. The defender can defend his 2 separate stacks, which would force the attacker to spread out if he wants to try to take both of them, or he can defend as a single stack. Some simple, quick math. It's going to be 15 to 2, which is going to be 7 to 1 with a remainder. He's going to be maxed, unless there's a high die roll. It's likely he's going to kill both. On the other hand, if I split it up, one attack will be 5 to 1. Still likely to lose him, so I might as well defend as a stack. Mark this HQ. So this will be a 15 to 1. Again, -1 for the remainder. Not 15 to 1, 7 to 1. Doesn't matter. So it's a 5, -1 is a 4, is a 2R. Both of these battalions are gone. That's 2 VP for the non-allied side, and another clearing marker. Quick and dirty. Strategic surprise, so that's not much of a surprise in terms of the combat. Hold on a second while we shift over here. The non-allied player is going to attack Belarus here. I'm sorry, Bialystok. So this is going to be a little bit different. We've got some more options here. So right now, as it stands, this is not flipped. We have 8 to 2. He's mechanized, so he's not going to be doubled in the urban terrain. So it'll be 4 to 1. I can throw in a headquarters and some artillery. So let's follow the sequence on that. So I'm going to declare the attack. I'm going to compute the initial odds. So to compute the initial odds, I have to decide whether I'm going to use the headquarters. I might as well. I want to clear Bialystok out if possible. So that's going to be 13 to 2. So it's going to be 6 to 1 in urban. I mean, I'm gonna shift this over here real quick, so you can see I'm using the combat odds marker here. Right here, 6 to 1 urban column is column 9. Come back over here. 13. So that left a remainder. So I'm going to go ahead and mark on my DRM track with that remainder, so I don't forget about it. So the next step is to determine column shifts. Oh, that's what I forgot to do in the land areas. I didn't do the ER column shifts, but obviously it didn't really matter because they were going to be in the Russian favor anyway. So here we've got 6s, potentially a 5. We'll do 6 on 6, even though that means the armor will have to take the loss if it takes one. I'm going to go ahead and commit both of these artillery units. That will... This is where it gets a little bit unwieldy, but that's okay. I can deal with it. But that'll shift it one to the right for each one, so we're going to move over to the 11 column. So now you see we're in a red column. If we get lucky and put enough losses on the Poles, we might not take a loss on the Russians. Both sides allocate attack helicopters. Bialystok is just within range. It's 7 to move to the map edge from the off map. So it's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I'm going to mark 2 of these Russian helos over here with used, 1 mission used. And now the Allies need to decide, well actually the non-Allied player needs to decide if he's going to commit an air attack, and he is not. He's just going to use the helos. The non-Allied player knows there's attacks coming in Warsaw potentially and probably wants to save some combat support for that. So he's not going to fly anything. So that's pretty much it. So we're going to go see if we can detect the incoming helo strikes. Oh, almost forgot. Helo combat support. So you got these markers in the game, so that you don't have to necessarily move the helo itself. You can use this helo CS marker on the appropriate side. So there's 2 of them. 1 on one side, 2 on the other, because that's all the values you get. Those come with the game. Attack helicopters are on local detection. There's no HQ. -1. Oh, nope, it did not. It's a -1 versus attack helicopter, local detection only. So it will be a -1 because they're attack helicopters. So we'll do the first one there. A 6 -1 is a 5, is not going to do it. Second one, a 3 -1 is a 2. So that does do local detection on the second marker. So this first marker goes. I'm going to go ahead and move the DRM marker down 1. DRM track marker down 1. So don't forget. So we go to local SAM defense against these guys. And looks like there's no die roll modifiers. So we'll roll on the local SAMs. An 8's going to do nothing. And we'll roll on the local AAA. A 7 is also going to do nothing. So those guys make it, and the die roll modifier is now set to -3. Allies didn't commit anything. So we determine any other die roll modifiers. This is where you would actually mark the remainder die roll modifier. I just like to do it early so I don't forget. And we're not going to have... These guys are independent units, so there's no formation problems. They're all same nationality. It's only 1 hex. Those no light units involved. So it's going to be a column 11 roll with a -3 die roll modifier. They roll a 4, -3 is a 1, is a /2, so the 18th recon evaporates. That's going to be 2 VP for the non-allied. It's going to be 2 VP for the non-allied player. You must advance at least one unit. I'm going to go ahead and advance both because I'm going to need those guys for the clearing. And because they entered that, they immediately take a clearing marker. And that's that. All right, so now, bear with me as I move down here. Now we got some attacks on Warsaw. I'm going to go ahead and attack this HQ first. So note, an HQ cannot support itself. Only subordinate units. So he's going to be defending with a 2, and he's not leg, so he's not doubled in urban terrain. So I'm going to go ahead and mark my 7th AA HQ, though. They're going to be a 2, 4, 9 on 2 is going to be 4 to 1 in urban with a remainder. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that. Column shifts. These guys are all 6s, so we're going to go 1 to the right for efficiency. And that's going to be it for column shifts. And then so allocating air units. I am going to most certainly support that from both sides. And we're going to put a Typhoon on the Allied side and Su-25 on the non-Allied side. Non-Allied side doesn't get any helicopters. I think I will use this Apache here to support the HQ. He only gets 1 mission per combat phase, so or combat segment, so this is it. So we go to detection. I'm going to roll for these. Let me put this in here. Right, so there's my Helo 2 CS. So let me roll for the local detection here. We're going to be -1 for the HQ. -1 for attack helicopters. So we're going to be net -2. Non-allied player rolls a 0, so locally detects the Apache. So we're going to take SAM fire. At -1 for the HQ is a 3, which becomes -1 is a 2. So that +2 is enough to negate that Helo. So we'll put that away. I'm not going to bother rolling AAA because all it's going to do is provide more CS reductions, and he's already down to 0. So we could ignore that. So now we'll roll detection on the Tornado. So those S-400s that are in Kaliningrad, they provide normal detection across the whole map, as well as SAM fire. And because the mission hex is, well, it is adjacent to enemy units, there will also be some AAA if they get detected. So we'll roll on the non-allied detection, which is an 8 with a -1. Easily detected. Early detection even, so I get intercept, except that I have no planes in the air superiority box, so there's no intercepting. So we'll just go straight to SAM fire, which is, looks like a 7, -1. A 2 -1 is an abort. So this Tornado ends up in the aborted box. Let me step over here. Things not going well for the Allies, but let's see if they can return the favor. So they will roll normal detection because this is a friendly country for them. Their detection value is a 6, and they do have a headquarters, so it'll be -1. They roll a 0. They could intercept, and they do have a plane. This is a golden opportunity I think I'm not going to pass on. So they're going to go ahead and intercept with this last remaining air superiority fighter, Typhoon. So we're going to be on the +3 column in standoff combat. Let's see what we get. We get a 3 at +3. This dude is damaged and aborted, and that's all she wrote for the air stuff. So the Tornado, Typhoon goes to the flown box. That close air support gets flipped and heads over to the aborted box. Sorry for the moving around, but as you can see this earlier from one of the earlier videos, I've got stuff kind of really spread out. So basically no air is going to make it through to the battle. So we can determine other column, or I'm sorry, other die roll modifiers. Again, one nationality, one formation. The non-allied player is going to get a -1 because this is urban terrain. So that'll actually move it with the remainder. That'll move it to -2. And that is pretty much it. So we're going to be on the 8 column with a -2. They roll a 3, which becomes a 1. Which is a 1 result. So the headquarters flips. That's it. That's a pretty good result for the allied player, at least initially. We'll see what happens. So we're going to repeat here. We're going to attack this 1 VAR. This will be a little bit tougher of a battle. We have 2, 4, 9 to 4 is only 2 to 1 in the urban. So that'll leave us that remainder. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that -1. Efficiencies, again, 6 to 5. So that'll shift us 1. The helo cannot fly. It already flew. So allies are going to spend their last close support mission. Actually, at that low odds, they're not going to. But the non-allied player is going to try to send another SU-25 in. See if he can't get something going. So allied player will roll for detection. A 6 -1 is going to be a 5. +1 for combat support. It's going to be a 6 on the 6 is detection. So we'll roll on their SAMs, which are also 6 with a -1. Ooh, a 1 becomes a 0. So that will flip this guy. And may continue the mission. So he flips with the X result, but he still brings this -2. So I'm going to move that DRM track down too. And we will put this guy in the flown box. It hurt, but that -2 will probably come in handy. And let's see, I think that's it. Die roll modifiers, we're going to get another -1 for light infantry. And I think that's probably going to be it. So we're going to be on the 6th column at a whopping -4. Let's see what we got. A 1, -4. This is as far down as you can go. That is a 2R. That armored brigade is toast. So that's going to be some more VP for the non-allied player. These airborne guys move in. If they happen to clear this at the end of the turn, we'll start rolling for auto victory if they're still there. So that's it for the initial combat segment, initiative combat segment. I'm probably not going to show a whole lot of stuff if you've already seen it, but we'll see. Anyway, there you go. That's it for now.